I stared at my computer screen, the glow reflecting in my tired eyes. The clock on the wall ticked past midnight, and the silence of the room was only broken by the hum of my computer. I had been at this for hours, lost in a sea of numbers and charts. It was another late night after a long day at my 9 to 5. The office was empty, save for a few other weary souls burning the midnight oil. The fluorescent lights cast a harsh glow, making the fatigue in my bones even more pronounced. The monotony was getting to me. Day in and day out, it was the same routine. Emails, meetings, reports. The endless cycle of corporate drudgery was wearing me down. I felt like a cog in a machine, my creativity stifled and my dreams on hold. I craved something more, something exciting. I wanted to break free from the chains of my desk and explore new horizons. I found myself daydreaming about a life of adventure, where I could be my own boss and make my own rules. That's when I stumbled upon the world of stock trading. It was like a beacon of hope in the darkness. The idea of making money from the comfort of my home with just a few clicks was incredibly appealing. It promised quick riches, financial freedom, and a way out of the daily grind. The success stories were everywhere. People who had turned a small investment into a fortune overnight. It seemed like the perfect escape from my mundane existence. Could this be the answer to my prayers, I wondered? The more I read, the more convinced I became that this was my ticket to a better life. I envisioned myself as one of those success stories, living a life of luxury and freedom. The idea of making money while I slept was intoxicating. I imagined waking up to see my bank account growing, all without lifting a finger. It was a dream come true, and I was eager to make it a reality. I imagined myself quitting my job, traveling the world, and living life on my own terms. No more alarm clocks, no more deadlines, just endless possibilities and the freedom to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. All thanks to the stock market. It seemed like the perfect solution to all my problems. I could see myself lounging on a beach, sipping cocktails, and watching my investments grow. It seemed so simple. Buy low, sell high, right? I started researching strategies, reading books, and watching tutorials. I was determined to master the art of trading and unlock the secrets to financial success. Little did I know I was about to learn a very expensive lesson. The stock market was not as easy as it seemed. The highs were exhilarating, but the lows were devastating. I was about to embark on a roller coaster ride of emotions and financial turmoil. Social media didn't help. It was a constant barrage of information, opinions, and advice from self-proclaimed experts. Every day, my feeds were filled with stock gurus flaunting their lavish lifestyles. They were always on the move, traveling to exotic locations, dining at the finest restaurants, and driving the latest luxury cars. They claimed to have cracked the code, boasting about their latest wins and urging their followers to join the ride. Their posts were filled with screenshots of their trading successes, each one more impressive than the last. Pictures of luxury cars, exotic vacations, and stacks of cash flashed before my eyes. It was a never-ending parade of wealth and success, and it was hard not to get caught up in the fantasy. It was hard not to get swept up in the hype. The allure of easy money and a life of luxury was incredibly tempting. I found myself spending hours scrolling through these posts, dreaming of what could be. I saw people just like me, regular people with regular jobs, supposedly making a killing in the market. They were teachers, office workers, and even stay-at-home parents, all claiming to have found the secret to financial freedom. If they could do it, why not me? I started to believe that I could be one of them, that I could achieve the same level of success if I just followed their advice and took the same risks. The fear of missing out, or FOMO, was real. Every post I saw made me feel like I was missing out on a golden opportunity, like I was being left behind while everyone else was getting ahead. I was tired of feeling left behind while everyone else seemed to be getting rich quick. The frustration was overwhelming, and I felt a constant pressure to keep up, to not miss out on the next big thing. I started researching stock trading, watching countless tutorial videos, and reading every article I could find. I wanted to learn everything there was to know about the market, to understand the strategies that these so-called gurus were using. I took notes, analyzed stock charts, and tried to develop my own trading plan. I was determined to succeed, to prove to myself and everyone else that I could do it. But the more I learned, the more overwhelmed I felt. The market was unpredictable, and no amount of research could guarantee success. The stress of trying to keep up with the constant flow of information was exhausting. In the end, I realized that the dream of easy money was just that, a dream. The reality was much harsher, and the constant pressure to succeed was taking a toll on my mental health. I decided to take a step back, to focus on finding a balance between my financial goals and my well-being. It was a difficult decision, but ultimately, it was the right one for me. Now I focus on what truly matters, my happiness and peace of mind. The journey to financial success is a marathon, not a sprint, and I'm learning to enjoy the ride. Fueled by a potent cocktail of FOMO and naive ambition, I downloaded the Robinhood app. It seemed like everyone and their grandmother was using it. The interface was sleek and user-friendly, making me feel like I was playing a game rather than investing my hard-earned money. Big mistake. I started following various online forums and chat groups, eager to get in on the hottest stock tips. Everyone was buzzing about this tech company or that electric car manufacturer. It felt like every other post was a guaranteed ticket to wealth. Blinded by the excitement and the promise of easy money, I threw caution to the wind. My first few trades were small, just dipping my toes into the water. I remember the first time I bought a stock, it was a modest investment, something I could afford to lose. I was cautious, reading up on the company, checking its past performance, and even asking friends for advice. It felt like a calculated risk, not a gamble. And to my surprise, I made a little bit of money. The thrill was intoxicating. It was like a rush of adrenaline, seeing those numbers go up. I felt a sense of accomplishment, like I had cracked some secret code. I started to believe that maybe, just maybe, I had a knack for this. My heart raced with each tick of the stock price going up. Every morning, I would wake up excited to check the market, to see how my investments were doing. It became a part of my daily routine, a new obsession. I would spend hours analyzing charts, reading news articles, and watching financial shows. I felt like I was finally in control, like I was on the path to financial freedom. The idea of making money from the comfort of my home was incredibly appealing. I started to dream about the possibilities, about what I could do with my newfound wealth. It felt like the sky was the limit. But I was in for a rude awakening. The market is unpredictable, and I soon learned that the hard way. One day, my stocks were up, and the next, they were down. It was a roller coaster of emotions, and I wasn't prepared for the lows. My early wins made me overconfident. I started to think that I could do no wrong, that every trade I made would be a winner. I began to take bigger risks, investing more money than I should have. I ignored the warning signs, the little voice in my head telling me to be cautious. I started making bigger and bigger trades, ignoring the nagging voice in my head telling me to slow down. I was chasing the high, the thrill of making money quickly. It was like a drug, and I was addicted. I stopped doing my research, stopped being cautious. I was all in. Then came the inevitable crash. The market took a turn for the worse, and I was caught off guard. I watched in horror as my investments plummeted. It was like a nightmare, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. The stock I had bet big on plummeted. All my gains were wiped out in a matter of days. I felt a sinking feeling in my stomach, a sense of dread. I had put all my eggs in one basket, and now that basket was empty. My initial excitement morphed into gut-wrenching panic. I was in a state of shock, unable to believe what was happening. I had gone from feeling on top of the world to feeling like a complete failure. It was a harsh lesson, but one that I needed to learn. The stock market is a roller coaster, and you have to be prepared for the ups and downs. Section 5. Panic sets in, the $1,000 mistake. I watched in horror as my portfolio turned a sickly shade of red. My initial investment, the money I had worked so hard for, was rapidly disappearing. Fear took hold, and I made the biggest mistake of all. I sold. Right at the bottom. Just like that, I had lost $1,000. It felt like a punch to the gut. All those dreams of quitting my job and achieving financial freedom evaporated into thin air. I was devastated, embarrassed, and angry at myself for falling for the hype. Section 6. Lessons learned the hard way. Losing money is never fun, but it was a wake-up call. I realized I had made a lot of mistakes. I let my emotions dictate my decisions, chasing quick profits instead of focusing on long-term growth. I had bought into the hype without doing my research or understanding the risks involved. Most importantly, I realized that investing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It requires patience, discipline, and a solid understanding of the market. I vowed to educate myself and develop a more responsible approach to investing. Section 7. A new strategy. Slow and steady wins the race. I spent the next few weeks devouring everything I could find about investing. I read books, listened to podcasts, and followed reputable financial experts. I learned about different investment strategies, the importance of diversification, and the power of compound interest. I realized that slow and steady wins the race when it comes to investing. Instead of trying to time the market or chase the latest hot stock, I needed to focus on building a diversified portfolio of low-cost index funds and ETFs. This long-term approach would help me weather market fluctuations and achieve my financial goals over time. Section 8. Taking control of my financial future. Losing $1,000 was a painful lesson, but it was also an empowering one. It forced me to take control of my financial future and make more informed decisions. I learned that knowledge is power, and that understanding the fundamentals of investing is crucial for long-term success. While I still work my 9-to-5, I no longer feel stuck. I have a plan in place, and I'm actively working towards my financial goals. I'm no longer falling prey to social media hype or get-rich-quick schemes. I'm investing in my future, one smart decision at a time.
Check one, check.
Section 9, you got this. To all the women out there, I want you to know that you are not alone in this journey. We all make mistakes, but it's how we learn and grow from them that matters. Don't let fear or intimidation hold you back from taking control of your finances. Educate yourself, seek guidance from trusted sources, and remember that slow and steady wins the race. You've got this.